garden friends, it's Miss Malia, and today, before we even get started on the content of our lesson, I'd like to lead you through a mindful breathing exercise. And it's a really great way to ground ourselves before we start the lesson. So it's called ladybug breathing. Take one hand, and then your other finger is going to be the ladybug. And the ladybug is going to start over here. And every breath you take in, the ladybug is going to move. So let's do it together. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 Okay, thank you everyone for breathing with me with the ladybug breathing technique. The last couple weeks in garden class, we've been learning about bees and butterflies and other pollinators. And pollinators are really helpful in the garden because they spread pollen around from one flower to another flower, and they make it possible for those flowers to produce fruit and then seeds. Another term you can use for a helpful bug is a beneficial bug, because beneficial means that it's really good and really helpful. Bees and butterflies are beneficial bugs because they help pollinate the garden. Unfortunately, there are also some bugs that don't help the garden. You could call those pests. Pesty bugs will eat things in the garden that we want to keep there. That doesn't mean that they're a bad bug, because every living creature deserves our love and respect. But what that means is they're a bug that we don't necessarily want in our garden. Some people will try to use pesticides, which are poisonous chemicals, to keep pesty bugs out of the garden. But that's not very nice, because that can hurt people, animals, and the world. The cool thing is that there are bugs that will actually keep pests out of the garden. And so it's really wonderful that we can use nature to keep our garden healthy and not have to bring in poisons. Now we're going to play a game. It's called Beneficial Insects versus Pests. So what I'm going to do is hold up a card, and you have to decide, is it a pest or a beneficial bug? So what do you think? A slug. They're a little slimy, but what do you think? Pest or beneficial? Do you want it in your garden or not? Pest. So slugs eat the leaves on plants that we want in the garden. How about a ground beetle? What do you think about this funny little insect? Beneficial or pest? Beneficial. Ground beetles eat slugs, aphids, and other bugs that hurt plants. How about a ladybug? This is a cute one, but do you want it in the garden? Did you guess already? Okay. Beneficial. Ladybugs eat aphids and other bugs that make plants sick. So these are a really great bug to have in the garden. How about a spider? What do you think about a spider? These 8-legged creatures. Beneficial or pest? Beneficial. These bugs are great because while spiders in Maine don't hurt humans, they will eat some of the pests in the garden. How about aphids? What do you think about these little bugs? They're tiny and green, and there's a lot of them. Oh, and sometimes they're actually in different colors, like gray or orange. What do you think? Aphids are a pest because aphids will eat through the leaves and stems of plants, and sometimes they bring sickness and disease with them when they come. How about butterfly. Pest or beneficial bug? Think back to that week 1 garden class. Yep, they are beneficial bugs because they spread pollen around after they go to the flower and drink the nectar. They will help to pollinate the flower. Now we're going to do a reading of Ladybugs by Gail Gibbons. A flower gently sways in the breeze. A small bug is looking for food. It's a ladybug. This says actual size, so they're very tiny. Many ladybugs fly and move about looking for food. They eat aphids and other insects such as scales and mites that are harmful to plants. Can you spot some aphids on here? How about some mites? A beetle is an insect with a hard outside covering and 2 sets of wings. A ladybug's body. This is a side view of a ladybug's body, and the males are smaller than the females, and the antennae are used for touching, tasting, and smelling. So, like other insects, a ladybug's body has 3 main parts, and I think you might know what those 3 parts are. It has to do with a little song we learned last week. Do you want to sing it with me? Okay. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, antenna. Can you count 6 legs? 6 legs, exoskeleton. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Nice job, everyone. Okay, so 6 short legs have sticky pads of hair at the ends of them. Okay, this is a top view of a ladybug. The outer wings are hard and protect the inner wings. The inner wings are delicate and are used for flying. The ladybug has 2 sets of wings. There are different kinds of ladybugs. How many different kinds of ladybugs can you spot on this page? There's the ash gray ladybug, the banded ladybug, the orange spotted, and even a spotless ladybug. Ladybugs live pretty much everywhere in the world, except for, so ladybugs live in anywhere that's covered in orange. So it seems like they don't live in some of these really cold places like Antarctica or really northern Canada. So, ladybugs mate in spring and summer. A ladybug finds its mate by scent rather than sight. About 1 week after mating, the female lays her eggs. During the next week, the eggs turn from yellow to white. There are plenty of aphids that her young will eat as they grow. So the female lays her eggs in a safe place. Second stage, larvae. After a few days, the eggs are ready to hatch. The thin shells begin to split open. The ladybug larvae crawl out. They eat their eggshells and begin eating the aphids. One larva can eat about 30 aphids a day. A larva eats so much that its outside covering becomes too tight. The outside covering splits and is shed off. A new, larger outside covering takes its place. This is called molting. The larva continues to eat and get larger and larger. It may molt 3 more times before it is fully grown. After molting for the last time, The larva attaches itself to a safe place using a sticky liquid at the end of its abdomen. Third stage, pupa. The ladybug larva is now called a pupa. Outside the covering of the pupa is becoming hard. Inside, the ladybug pupa will continue to develop. It will not eat or move during this time. And the fourth stage, ladybug. Now the ladybug pupa begins to split open its hard covering. Head first, the ladybug pulls its body out. The ladybug's body is pale and soft and has no dots yet. Its body slowly hardens. Its two delicate, transparent inner wings, which will be used for flying, extend to dry. Then they slip back under the hard outer wings for protection. In about 1 hour, the ladybug is ready to live a ladybug's life. Dots begin to appear. Soon, the adult ladybug opens its hard wings and unfolds its flying wings. The ladybug lifts itself up in the air. It will spend its life going from plant to plant, eating aphids and other insects. Danger, danger! A ladybug has many enemies, including birds, frogs, and other insects. It has 3 major ways to defend itself. Its bright color is nature's warning to others that this insect may be poisonous or just taste bad. And when a ladybug is attacked, its leg joints ooze a yellow fluid. This fluid has a terrible smell that keeps the enemies away. A ladybug will also pretend to be dead, and then the predator will lose interest. Ladybugs must also protect themselves from cold winter weather. Thousands of ladybugs find a safe, warm place such as under a rock or nestled under leaves. Like other insects, ladybugs are cold-blooded. Their body temperatures are controlled by the air surrounding them. They become active again when the temperature rises to about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Gardeners and farmers have always been against insects that damage their plants and crops. But they appreciate ladybugs because ladybugs eat plant-damaging insects. In the late 1800s, many crops in California were attacked by destructive insects. Farmers were desperate. When lots of ladybugs were released into the fields, they ate the destructive insects, and within a year, crops were thriving again. Wow, thank you, ladybugs. Pesticides are chemicals sprayed on crops to kill insects. When farms became larger, farmers began to use poisonous pesticides to kill plant-eating insects. With time, some farmers realized that those pesticides could be bad for the crops because they damaged soil, polluted water, and were harmful to wildlife, including ladybugs. Today, agriculture experts are finding safer ways to protect crops, which include using ladybugs again. Organic foods are grown without using chemicals. Many plants have ladybugs helping them to become insect-free and grow into delicious foods that we can all eat. Ladybugs are also beautiful to look at and interesting to watch, but they're also important insects that help the environment. The end. Now I have a couple reflection questions for you. Why are ladybugs so good for the garden and for the environment? And do you have any more questions about ladybugs or other beneficial bugs. That's all for garden class today. I hope you have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.